Good day, YouTubers. Is the writing already on the wall, as they say? This Hebrew writing is Mene Mene Tekel Parse. It translates, you have been weighed on the scales and found wanting. King Belshazzar in Babylon threw a drunken orgy in the temple of God, in the most holy place, and they were eating and drinking from the consecrated plates and dishes when a disembodied hand appeared and wrote on the wall in front of them. Literally, the Medes and Persians were at the city gate of Jerusalem, and anyone who was not killed that evening was taken away captive. But we're here to talk about Harry and Meghan and the little ones' titles. Let's look at a few other choice topics before we get there. First, we have the Queen's death certificate, which has been made public. It states simply the cause of death as old age. Bruh. Really? On the day before her passing, the Queen met the new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, to show her support. Just look at how thin and frail she is. I was shocked. Some are saying she had bone cancer. She had obvious bruises on her right hand from IVs stuck into her. She'd obviously lost a lot of weight, and I could visibly see that she was ill in this photo, and she passed the next day. So why not just state the real cause of death? Because anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of public opinion. This is the evil world we live in. And that could be used for good or that could be used for bad. We're all going to pass from this earth eventually, and there's no shame in that. Here's a report of little Prince George saying to a classmate, "My father will be king, so you better watch out." George is 9. What little boy, or girl for that matter, has not said, "My daddy can beat up your daddy"? It's disturbing the reaction of some of these royal haters, and some cross the line into direct threats. Will any of them be prosecuted? I kind of doubt it. In the UK, grooming gangs, gang assault, acid attacks, and worse have become commonplace. But if you retweet without comment something that offends anyone, the police will come to your house and drag you out into the street. And this, my friends, is how a culture dies. And the US, Canada, Europe, Australia, our situation is no better. So let's examine the writing on the wall. Queen Margaret of Denmark just took away her grandchildren's royal titles. The Royal House of Denmark released a public statement on Wednesday stating the Queen has chosen to remove the Prince and Princess title from 4 of her grandchildren, Nikolai, 23, Felix, 20, Henrik, 13, and Athena, 10. Starting on January 1st, 2023, the kids of her second son, Prince Joachim, will simply go by his or her Excellency Count of Montpezat. How much you want to bet these grandchildren were acting like ungrateful, entitled little munchkins? Or was it the grandson, Prince Joachim? What about Harry and Meghan and their relentless slander campaign, monetized through publishing, Netflix, Spotify, Oprah, and more? Is the writing already on the wall? Are their titles already on the chopping block? Have they gone too far? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are demoted on the royal family website after the Queen's funeral. Harry and Meghan are worried they are slowly being eased out of the royal picture after website demotion. What happened? Harry and Meghan and kids were moved below Andrew on the new royal website. Meghan Markle is changing her tune after the Queen's death and removes podcast content offensive to the monarchy. Harry and Meghan want to stall their Netflix show, and it could be dead in the water. Harry warned to pull the plug on the memoir. Isn't this what I just said in the last reading? Prince Harry warned over making attacks on the royal family in upcoming new book. Prince Harry warned the memoir windfall will be cut in half if he dampens his royal attacks in the book. The word warned keeps popping out at me here. We know that Harry and Meghan stayed after the Queen's funeral and demanded a private meeting with Charles, who ignored them and left town. Did someone speak to them and tell them enough is enough? We have some blind items. We love blind items. Thank you, Lisa. Many of the charity scenes that were shot prior to the death of the Queen, make the royal look bad. So there needs to be changes or reshoots with charities here in the US. The consensus right now is there will be 2 seasons. One will consist of the charity sporting games, Invictus, which have nothing controversial in them. It's hoped then they will get the titles they so dearly covet and then can release the dirt in a second season to coincide with the new release date of the book. As we know, they want to push the book from November release to the spring now. Another blind item. The battles raging between the illiterate one and her husband over the direction of some podcast episodes in his book are epic. There are other people involved, which is giving brand new insights into the relationship or the destruction of it. So Harry and Meghan are at odds. Harry's not an idiot, and he has the most to lose, his titles. Who is Harry without those titles? I think Meghan is pretending to be supportive and work with Harry so they can get over the hump and keep the titles and get their kids these all-important titles. But she has to blame others for anything that's gone wrong, ever, or she will be forced to examine herself. And I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. Trevor Engelson, her husband, is coming out with a new book. Remember, Meghan was in Toronto for Suits while supportive director husband Trevor was in California. And I believe he even got her that role. I believe Meghan was openly unfaithful or even living with chef Corey Vitiello in Toronto when she simply mailed back her wedding ring to Trevor. She didn't even bother to send him a text or see him face to face. This is very disrespectful, and people don't forget this kind of thing. Is Trevor going to blast out Meghan's secrets? I mean, he knows them. Was Meghan married before him to a man named Joe Giuliani in college? Did they have a daughter who's almost 21, now living in New Mexico with the grandma? Mr. Markle, Meghan's father, won't even give up her age, okay, which is probably 44 or 45. Finally, we have Princess Beatrice and Queen Consort Camilla promoted to new roles under King Charles III's reign. What roles would those be, you might ask? They've been promoted to counselors of state, the roles that Harry and Andrew were holding, but they're no longer working senior royals. It looks like they're going to be replaced. The writing is on the wall, my friends. Let's get into it and let's see what the cards have to say to us today. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. As always, you can find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. All right. So is the writing already on the wall? Are Harry and Meghan and the kids' titles already toast? I mean, and how much do they know? They stayed after to talk to Charles, and I think something happened. They were like, oh no, this is really bad. We have to meet with Charles. And Charles just ignored them. So is the writing already on the wall? How bad is it? How bad is it? Ruler, that's Charles the King. Okay. On the bottom we have activity. Actions that are occurring like right now. Newell. Ooh, Executioner. Very interesting cards. Let's see. Ruler, Straight Razor, and Four-Leaf Clover. Four-Leaf Clover is about doing what needs to be done right now, and I have all kinds of paint all over my hands because I'm painting the bathroom, and you have to get behind the toilet, and I have a huge old style, 500-pound iron tub in there, and I had to get behind that. So it was really, I just got paint all over me from that one. Anyway, so the ruler, King Charles, cutting. This can say he feels that this is the time. That the time is now, okay, to cut the titles. That
could be what this is saying. The time is now. Okay? To keep the situation good, a good situation for the royals, and put a stop to this. He, on the king's mind, is putting a stop to all this nonsense and strengthening the family. So consolidating the power, getting rid of the riffraff, all the problems, cutting the problems, just like the Queen of Denmark just did. And people, we're group animals. We always come together and we're influenced by each other. And here's a queen who just cut out her grandchildren. And I'm sure that Charles and the other royals are being influenced by that. They're looking at, well, how did that turn out? And no repercussions. She just did it. She could do what she wanted. She's queen. Deal with it. Fox, very clever, thinking very clever. Renewal, the butterfly, transforming the royal family in front of all the people. Okay, they want, and these are good people, everybody working together, so they want the public to like them. They're PR people. And cutting. The end result here we have is the executioner cutting the head off. So that's the outcome card. That's a very powerful card. Here we have really thinking about it, and this position mirrors this position. So the king is really thinking about it, and he feels that the time is now to get rid of this blockage. But Jack of Hearts, Angel, they have to take the high ground. They can't be seen as Caligula or being really nasty. And like what they did with the bullying accusations. They said, oh, no, we're not going to release it. And then this book is coming out, Courtiers by Valentine Lowe. It's all in that book, okay? But the king didn't say it. It didn't come. You can't prove that it came from the royal family. How did he get his information? Well, I read the cards. He got them directly from the royal family and from the palace itself. But you can't prove that. So the king keeps his hands clean. And, that's what the CIA is for. That's what the Secret Services are for, to keep the hands of the president and the Congress and the Senate clean. They do a lot of dirty work. They handle the business. So he does feel that the time is now. He's really mulling it over. Time is now. He's really mulling it over to really make a big change, slim down the monarchy, as they say, and make the cut. So it doesn't say 100% he's going to cut their titles. All right, well, my battery went out. So it says that this is the top. This is the number one item on King Charles's agenda, is getting rid of this problem. It's the number one item on his agenda, but he hasn't pulled the trigger yet, and they like it to look like they're always reacting. So a good way to do this, is if the book comes out and there's a big hullabaloo and people start screaming for getting rid of Harry and Meghan. Well, that's really the time. So they're really, really thinking about it. And Harry grew up in the palace. He can see what's going on. And he can see how serious and dire his situation has become. So did someone talk to Harry and Meghan? Did they directly say something to them? And that's why they stayed behind. Oh, please talk to us, King Charles, please talk to us. Did someone say something directly to them? Royals and Harry and Meghan. Were they directly spoken to? Royals. That's a secrets card. Harry and Meghan. Because they really seem to have gotten the message. They really seem to know something is up. Did someone literally talk to them? Finger of God is outside. It was done very cleverly, and it was done very indirectly. The dead bodies are in the box. They're keeping the secrets in the box. But someone from outside the royal family came and spoke to them. Okay, outside, 7 diamonds, somebody outside the royals, someone closely associated with the royals, but who is not a direct royal family member. They came and pulled Harry or Meghan or both of them aside and said, look, they're about to cut your titles, okay? Or it's really bad for you. You better shape up. And all the stuff I just showed you, they're cutting back everything, making sure that there's nothing negative being listed. Somebody said that to them. But was not directly from the royals. Over here we have Harry and Meghan. Transformation. They're determined to make a transformation and not say anything more negative about the royals until this storm passes. They don't want to be cut out of the foundation and 5 spades. They don't want to be cut out of the foundation. 4 ace of spades. Cutting. They're trying to disassociate themselves from all the negativity that they're constantly spewing, which is impossible. Because Meghan is perfect and she's never done anything wrong. And if Meghan left the royal family, it's because you're terrible people and you were mean to her and you almost drove her to suicide and you're racist and they're saying the N-word in the palace and it's crazy. Okay, so someone did come to them and they're scrambling to not get kicked out. So somebody had some really good intel to share with Harry and Meghan about what is going on behind the scenes, and Harry and Meghan are losing their minds and panicking. Is Meghan sincere in wanting to curtail or stop the attacks on the royals? Because I can't see this. So let's look at the conflict between Harry and Meghan. Let's look at Harry and Meghan and see if they are really working together, or Meghan is really working at cross purposes to Harry, but telling him that she is working with him, which would explain the constantly the look on Harry's face like he has acid in his tummy every time we see him standing next to Meghan. He just looks so stressed. His face looks like my face looked before I got cancer. I just was stressed all the time, and like, what's wrong? What's wrong with you, Joseph? I don't know. And then I get cancer. So that's what stress will do to you. So let's look at Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan, are they together or working at cross purposes? Harry. Meghan. Oh, the man's on Meghan's Fox, yeah. Oh, yeah. Interesting. All right, Harry, he's an angel. Outside influences, foundation. He's worried about the children. He's a father. However those children were born, I'm sure Meghan tells him 100 times a day that he's responsible for taking care of things. 22, 29, 8 hearts. He's trying to turn this around, and he's working. He's trying to get other people involved to go to bat for him, which that's how power works. Okay, when you're an influential person, you're an influencer. You influence others to act on your behalf. We see it all the time with Meghan Sugars. They're always attacking people. Meghan Sugars are always attacking Meghan on behalf of Meghan. Sometimes Meghan tells them directly, do this, do that, and they do it. And other times they just act independently and attack anyone who doesn't absolutely love Meghan and thinks she's the queen of the world. So Harry is influencing others. He's working behind the scenes to influence others to keep him in the royal family. Meghan, she's not working with Harry. She's very independent. The fox is very, very independent. Nobody is more independent in the deck than the fox. And the fox is very selfish and very independent, and no, she's not working with Harry, the man. So here's the honest man, Harry, working very directly. Here's Meghan processing everything and twisting it to whatever way is going to benefit her the most. And no, she's not working with Harry. 25, 27. Or, family, cross, the family. underlying their situation are a lot of problems, 24, 6 spades, and selfishness. So there's huge problems in their relationships, in Harry and Meghan's relationship, and Meghan is not working with Harry, even though she may appear to be, and Harry is working for everybody's benefit, and he's trying to influence people outside the situation to go to bat for him, which is a great way to do it. If you're an influencer, that's what you do. Is Trevor, in his book, going to blast out some serious secrets? Is he going to damage Meghan? Because there's so many secrets. I also believe the royals have terrible secrets, but they're not getting blasted out, and that is power. That's how power works. If you're powerful enough, nobody can touch you. It doesn't matter what you've done. So is Trevor going to give up Meghan's secrets? Because I'm really disappointed in Mr. Markle. I mean, the man would just rather have a heart attack or a stroke than blast out his daughter and give up any of her secrets. He's just constantly protecting her. In many ways, you could say that's admirable, but she's totally thrown him under the bus. And there comes a point where you need to just handle it. So is Trevor going to give up her secrets? Secrets to the world about the child. Ooh, ruthless. Ooh. Yeah, we have King of Spades, very ruthless showing. What do we have here? I think there are secrets about a child or her children that are going to be exposed to the world. Okay, so we have allegedly, possibly, a daughter birthed by another husband, okay, that no one talks about and it's not been proven. I would love for that to be proven. I hoped that Tom Bauer would prove that in his book. Clearly he's not, or that would be all over the place. That would be everywhere, and that would be the talk of the town, and everybody would just be chatting about it over tea or coffee. We drink coffee here in America. But in Europe and in England, they would be chatting about it over tea. 15, 26, 7 diamonds, outside influence. Yeah. So something outside his marriage. And it looks like secrets about a child will be exposed to the world. So there's many secrets that can be exposed about children to the world. He could have Trevor, through contacts, because he's somebody in Hollywood, he could know about Meghan's surrogate children, and he could expose secrets about that. Or it could be the daughter from the previous marriage, because he would know about things like this. Okay, he was with Meghan. I think they were together, dating, living together, whatever, for like 7 years, and then they were only married for like 2 years or something. So there's like 9 years in there where he really knows all about Meghan. What's underneath? A ruthless plan. Foundation, 2 foundation cards, ruler and hand in hand. Taking the bull by the horns in front of all the people, ruthlessly exposing things in the foundation. Let's add this up. 26, 32, 43, 47. So 44, 40, 44 is Jack of Spades, 40, 47, 48, King of Clubs. Okay, yeah, 48. Oh, I don't know. That's too high of a number for me to do it in my head. But yeah, it looks like he's going to be pretty tough. I think he's going to expose some real stuff, and he's got some secrets about a child to expose. So that's very promising. And, with Courtiers and the Tom Bauer book out, there's some really good dirt coming out, and that's good. And you see how impressed people are when it comes out in writing, because we on YouTube have been saying these things all along, but then it comes out in a book, and Meghan doesn't sue, and everybody's like, oh wow, it was true all along. So people are really, really impressed by the written word, and I don't know, that's just the power of the written word. So, okay, they just said, and I'm going to ask about this, and it's not disrespectful, But the Queen, her cause of death was old age. Come on now. Come on now. Okay, so was there something in the Queen's health that the royals needed to hide? And I don't think there is, but I want to see what the cards want to say, because everybody dies from something, and really people who die from old age, they die from multiple causes. It's like a pile-on effect. You know, the lungs go, the heart goes, all kinds of things happen all at the same time. They get septic, they get staph, all kinds of crazy things happen all at once, and that's what ends it. So was there something in the Queen's health that the royals really just wanted to hide? Because that's a display of power to just say she died of old age. Because that's not, it's true, but it's really not true. Was there something they're trying to hide? Committed to exposing and renewing 10, 11, 3 clubs. I think this just says they were on the surface. This is on the surface, this is underneath. On the surface, they just really wanted everything to be just clean, just squeaky clean. Okay, because this is part of her legacy. Her death is part of her legacy. Her life is her legacy. Her death is also part of her legacy. And you don't want any like black mark or scratch on the legacy at the end. Okay, especially at the end. You want them to go out and people remember what you did, and you don't want to defame the dead. What do we have? So that's what's on the surface. What do we have here? All the people, actions in front of all the people, and then we have Queen of Spades and 3 spades. We just have, this can be the bowels, the intestines, a problem in the intestines, which, or deep in the bones, like it's alleged bone cancer. I'm not seeing anything embarrassing here. She had a severe illness that was deep inside, eating away at her for a long time. That's what this says. 29, 32, 8 spades. Another sickness card. So she was just very sick for a long time, and they don't want to talk about it. But I don't see anything here that says they were ashamed of something and they were hiding something. Yeah, so I don't think they were hiding anything, but she was very ill for quite a while, and it finally got the better of her. So let's review. Is the writing on the wall? Well, yeah, this is the time King Charles, it's hard for me to call him King Charles, I keep wanting to call him Prince Charles, is really thinking about it. This is the time when he's going to cut the titles. He's right on the cusp. They're waiting for the right moment. Okay, somebody came to them and told them all of this, and they are scared out of their minds. They had to run back to the hotel room and change their drawers. They're so scared, and they are scrambling. Okay, is Meghan sincere in wanting to, is she working with Harry? No, she's working at cross purposes to Harry at all times. Okay, and it's all for herself. Does Trevor have the dirt? Is he going to reveal it? Yes, Trevor has some dirt on a child, specifically about a child. And there's nothing in the Queen's health that the royals really needed to hide. They just wanted to keep it really clean and no talking about it. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment.